Today we have gathered here to worship Sri Ganesha. Sri Ganesha is the deity of innocence. When we are born as children, it is Sri Ganesha who is acting, and we are very innocent. And it is such a powerful thing that with this innocence, children survive under many circumstances. And we love them because they are innocent. We enjoy them because they are innocent. Once we start growing, our sastra also gets closed, and we develop all kinds of funny things that enters into us and doesn't go out. It's just there. It doesn't go out. Innocence has a great effect on our character and on our sense of chastity. Actually, when you are innocent, you don't know what is not chastity. What is being unchaste? What is being cunning? You are innocent and you are looked after by Sri Ganesha himself. Anybody who tries to harm an innocent person, Sri Ganesha looks after him and manages him. Many people who are innocent in this world, of course there are very few, but they become so detached from all worldly problems like lust and greed and many others, because they are so pure that nothing can spoil them and malign them. This is such a great blessings we have, that innocence is actually created in us. And it was created much before all the innocence. Everything was created much, much before we were created. It's such a great quality for us to become innocent. The greatest quality of Sri Ganesha is joy. It gives you joy. As small children, they may not speak even, but they give us so much joy. Joy-giving quality comes from Sri Ganesha. Even after coming to Sahaja Yoga, I have seen people are not full of joy. They're very serious. They don't know how to laugh, have to enjoy anything. That's the sign that they are still lacking in innocence. So, it's important to understand that if you are Sahaja Yogis, you should be joyous and give joy to others, just like children, how sweet they are. They may be newly born, but how much joy they give you. But supposing you do not have that capacity to enjoy the innocence of children, then nobody can help you. Ganesha cannot help you because that's the innate quality human beings have. And if you don't have that quality, no use having any other sense. Like some people like food, they like colors, they like all other things. But if you don't have Sri Ganesh, you cannot purely enjoy anything. So it is only Sri Ganesha's blessings that we really enjoy everything in its full measure. Otherwise, we start judging it, we start criticizing it. People raise so many things, questions. If you see something and it gives you joy, then you are supposed to give the explanation for that. As we have many critics in this world, and they are all the time criticizing one another. Now the critics are criticizing critics. That's the biggest problem. That's their job. Because Ganesha is not there. When they go on criticizing others, never criticizing themselves, and thinking no end of themselves, and with that they create a very bad kind of a community, which is actually very harmful. It's very dangerous. It's like having some sort of a boil or some sort of a septic thing in your body, in your being. So, if you cannot appreciate and if you cannot enjoy it, then Sri Ganesha is missing from you. You should be able to enjoy everything and to enjoy your children, enjoy children of other people. That's the sign of your being completely blessed by Sri Ganesha. Now the beauty of Sri Ganesha is this, that it looks after your Kundalini. It guards your Kundalini. It guides your Kundalini, and throughout, on all the chakras, he had to bless you. If you don't have the blessings of Sri Ganesh, you will be completely useless fellow as a Sajjana. Because all the time you are seeing the bad points of others. All the time you are devoiding, I should say, you are getting into a problem by which you cannot enjoy anything. By temperament you think you are very serious, you are very mature, you are very developed, but you are not innocent. Such a person gives such a headache to everyone. If there's one like that in the family, people want to get rid of. So you should have the quality of Sri Ganesha, which is of giving joy to others. Depends on how much joy you can give it to others. It doesn't want anything. Such a person won't say that I must get this, I must have this position, I should be leader, I should be this and that. No. He just enjoys giving joy. Joy to others and being humorous and kind, and never tries to insult anyone and hurt anyone. If such a person hurts, by mistake also, he goes on repenting about it. And 100 times he'll beg your pardon if he has hurt you. Such a happy person is a real Sajjana. That's the one we want to have all around. Those who have no hatred for anyone, no malice for anyone, and not finding faults with another, but trying to find what is the good point of that person. What is so special about that person? It's not bothered as to what color you are, whether you are black or white, whether you are tall or short, it makes no difference. Because it is absolute joy. And for this absolute joy, you don't criticize and you don't try to find faults with others. Now the problem is that people are getting very much advanced in this modern era, very advanced, and they are very much more advanced in criticizing others, I think. That's the maxim they have, is to criticize others. And also they have another very bad quality, to identify themselves with the country in which they live or with the family which they are. I've seen it create such a problem. Also, they identify themselves with the different religions they follow. Or imagine from this how many problems have come up, that you start differentiating between one and another. For example, now supposing who is born, say, in one place. So he says he is the best. His country is the best. His people are the best. And there's nothing wrong with them. On the contrary, if a person is a real Sahajogi who has Ganesha within him, enlightened, then he sees it and enjoys the humor behind it. The humor of all these people, what they are mad after, how they behave, the way he understands, the jokes behind it, jokes which is avoiding reality. And reality is only possible if you are in the realm of joy. Otherwise, all the time you find something wrong, something upsetting, so something disturbing. But if you see the humor behind everything, then you are perfectly all right. For example, I would say that I have had many such experiences, that people have told me, "Mother, such and such fellow is like that, such and such fellow is like that." So, I would ask that person, "Are you like that?" Direct. He said, "No, I'm not like that." But I said, "Why everybody sees that in you? This must be wrong. All of them must be wrong, or you are wrong." Then he would say, "Maybe myself." And that's how, you see, you can mold also such people who think that they are correct and the rest of the world is all bad. And they have every right to hate them and to think in the wrong direction. What happens with that is that you lose the essence of joy. Essence of joy is in seeing in everything the source of joy. Supposing you see something here, now if it is odd, it should give you also great sense of humor. If it is beautiful, it should give you another sense of appreciation. But I can't understand people who go on harping on some sort of a thing that has no meaning in their lives, nor in the lives of others. I would say my father had a great capacity to do that. Once I went home, so I said my brother was praising this man for his music. What do you think, his friend? He said, "He is a musician, no doubt, but he is very courageous." I said, "Why?" "Because he may go on singing anything. He never feels bad about it. Everybody might be nervous or everybody might be laughing at it, but he is not at all bothered. He goes on singing in his own ways." So that is the beauty of understanding every defect in a person can be enjoyed. It is very much a sense, I should say, a very subtle sense by which you can enjoy every person. If he has defects, then you enjoy them as humorous thing. And if he has something very good, then also you can enjoy. So why do you shun people? Why should you get out of people, criticize them for nothing wrong? Now, under these, people have built up big organizations. For example, the Catholics will help the Protestants. The Protestants will I'm saying, they will also sort of hate the people who are Catholic. What's the use of that? What's the use of hating each other from that point that somebody is a Protestant or somebody is a Catholic? Just see yourself. See what is wrong with you. Why do you think like that? Why do you look at those things and always think that another person, something wrong with him? And then you form groups and then you fight. You can have even wars with this kind of an idea that the another person is not all right and you are absolutely perfect. This is also with the country I have seen. For example, even in Sahaja Yoga I have seen, if somebody is coming, say, from India or from another country anywhere, the leader will be anxious that he should or she should put her candidate before. It's such an identification which they are not still conscious of it. But then I play my tricks, you see. All such things when they do, when they try to support one party, one type of people from one, we should say not religion now, but the countries. So this country identification is so much still in Sahaja Yoga that you come from one country, then you want to support that man from that country. You'll never appreciate that whosoever is good coming from any country is a Sahaja Yogi. We are a global community. We are not to be identified with one country, that our people should be married, that we should get our people there. All this kind of thing I have noticed, and I feel very sorry that you have not understood the nature of Sahaja Yoga. Sahaja Yoga is a global thing, absolutely global. It has nothing to do with one country or with one person. It's such a global thing that if you see the subtle side of it, it's very joy-giving. God Almighty has created this world as one. They might have United Nations, they might have this, they might have that, but still they are so much identified with their country that they cannot correct also that country. Now, for example, something is wrong with your country, they cannot. For them, everything is all right first, because they were born in that particular country. Or they appreciate some other country, so they'll go on praising that country to such an extent that they are destroyed and their ideas also destroy people. So best thing is to see the joke behind being identified with one country. There's a big joke about it. I enjoy it very much. Among Sahaja Yogis also I have seen. It's very common that they are identified with one country. If you are identified, then you should try to correct that country. You should try to correct those countrymen who are following a particular type of ideologies. They never see that because they are so much involved with them that they don't see what's wrong with them. They'll always see what's wrong with others. But I've seen those who are real Sahaja Yogis are very good. They tell me what's wrong in their own country, what's going wrong in their own country, what's the trouble in their own country, how the countrymen are. You see, very surprising. I was surprised how people told me that how some people who are in their country are so misidentified and they are so against Sahaja Yoga in a subtle manner. I was surprised how they felt it that way. They said, Mother, see, they are not at all global. Once you become global, all your problems of provinces and things are finished. But that doesn't come into their head, that we have to be global. We are Sahaja Yogis. We cannot identify ourselves with one country on another country. If we do that, then we are still lacking in our universal personality. And this universal personality comes to us from Sri Ganesh. He is a universal personality. Whether he is in India, whether he is in Italy or in England. What is that personality? Is innocence. Very innocence, very much innocent. And not only that, but he is a joy-giving personality. All such people who are joy-giving are recognized. It's not that the world doesn't recognize. They may not be knowing that they are global, but those who are global people write books on global ways, thinking about global things. And they can criticize also people of their own country. They can criticize people of their own clan. They can go on like that. But they can be slavish also to some other country and try to praise them too much. So you are not to be slavish. You have to not to be identified. But you should be identified with yourself. And whatever yourself enjoys, that should be expressed. That is the sign that your Ganesha is there. And that Ganesha is working out. It's very important for leaders to understand this. Because I've seen the way they are identified with their countrymen is sometimes shocking to me. I'm really shocked. How could they be? They are not belonging to any country. They are no more. They are in the country of Sri Ganesha, which is the country of love and joy. If you cannot give joy and love, then there's something wrong with him. With this only, his quality, people become chaste. Because chastity is a very joy-giving thing, very joy. It is not a thing that you have to tell somebody or to force somebody or to restrict somebody, but it is to enjoy it, to enjoy yourself and enjoy the chastity of another person. Is such a great blessing of Sri Ganesha, such a great blessing that you enjoy your own chastity. You are not bothered about the another person, he is chaste or not, if he is doing bad things, if he is a ruined person, doesn't matter. You don't get spoilt with that. You have your own chastity, your own life of very chaste moments. It is nowadays such a modern style of thinking, there's a flowing towards unchaste life and all kinds of wrong ideas about chastity. If somebody now talks of chastity, people think this must be mad. How can that be? Everything is done these days, if you see. All the fashions are there. Now once a fashion starts, it goes on spreading. Then everybody will dress up in the same manner. They have no personality of their own. Everybody will be going around in the same manner. Especially the women have lost their sense of chastity. They have lost their sense of chastity because the way they dress up sometimes shocks me. What is the need to dress up like this? Why can't you dress up properly? But it is just shows that they have no character of their own. Actually, they may say, I am this, I am that, but they are not, they are nothing. Because they take to all kinds of forces that run around. But look at the children. Children are not like that. They do not have all these funny ideas of impressing people with their unchaste life. None of them. On the contrary, children are very conscious and they want to become very chaste people. This has an effect on the eyes, I must say. Sri Ganesha acts through your eyes. How you look at a person is very important. I have seen people losing complete control over their eyes. They'll go on looking at this person, looking at another person, looking at another person. Just for nothing at all, but it's a matter of no Ganesha controlling. And with this the eyes are spoilt. Spoilt means that you cannot look at anything concentratedly. then how can you penetrate into anything? Any penetration is possible only if you can really adjust your eyes in such a manner that you see something at that time for that time, and not go on shifting your eyes from one to another. It can mean anything, it can come from anything. That means Ganesha is the one who is a detector of our faults. For example, people have greed. So they will start seeing who's wearing what clothes they should wear. If they have greed, then they'll see somebody has a nice house. I should also have a nice house. But they never see the beauty of that house. They never see the actual essence of that house. But just they go on seeing that I should have this house, this kind. I should have that. They have no sense of beauty, I should say. They have only sense of possession. And that is such a bad thing to say, because sense of beauty is something so deep and sense of possession is so grotesque, so aggressive. So one should look at things from Ganesha's angle. How will you do it? How will you use it? You will learn from children how they watch things and how they work it out, how they think. You will be amazed how sensible they are and the very sensible things they talk. Like I met a child. So the child told me, I love the moon. I said, all right. Now, what's wrong with the moon? Nothing, but it hides itself under the clouds all the time. So I said, why does he do that? Because he walks too much. So he's tired and he has to rest, all right. And that's why he does it. So if he doesn't walk so much, if he keeps steady, he won't have to do it. Just imagine. A little child watching all these things. And I was amazed how the little child knows what is right, what is wrong, how to behave, how to understand the proper way of doing things. They are not taught anything, they are not conditioned nothing. But they know how to behave, and they are always looked after by the divine. I have known children who have fallen from great heights. Nothing happened to them. And also, no snakes and all these things don't bite children. Even they say that tigers never try to eat children. What is it? What is so powerful about it? That children are so safe and allowed to grow. But then they grow into such horrible creatures who are unchaste, who are running after women or women running after men is a common play these days. And it is unbelievable. How can people who are even Sahajogis do this? Of course they don't, but some of them, they are still in this kind of a mess. So when you have your Ganesha already established, just before creating the whole universe, the mother created Sri Ganesha. If he is there, then life is very easy. Such a society is very easy to live. Such a friendship also is so easy, because there's nothing that is possessiveness or any kind of a, we can call perversity. When you have bad eyes for women, bad eyes for money, bad eyes for possessions, Ganesha is spoiled. He just knows how to enjoy everything. If it belongs to you, it doesn't matter. It belongs to me, it doesn't matter. But you should know how to enjoy the beauty of it. And that's enjoyment when you have within yourself. You don't grow old because all the time you are enjoying. What is there to grow old? But normally it doesn't happen. You are very critical, we are very, I should say, selfish and stupid sometimes, very much stupid. All that you lose, all that grip over yourself, which is joy. What is yourself? Self is nothing but joy. A joyous person is definitely a person who has got his self expressing through his joy. Such a person is so joy-giving, so humorous, and never degrading anyone. In every small thing it sees a beauty, and nature of every creation is so beautiful. I am really surprised how is it that poetry comes to very few people. Because they go on describing love affairs, this, that, all nonsensical things. And what things make you unhappy. Unhappy is not the sign of a person who is a realized soul. So if you have that problem on unhappiness, just be on the watch out and see why have you developed this kind of a funny attitude towards everything. Why can't you enjoy everything? You go on watching this person, that person, you never enjoy. While if you watch the children, it's very interesting. They look at, like I saw one joke, there was a joke about a child. They had a guest in their house for food and he was eating. So this child saw that man eating. He said, "Mama, he doesn't eat like a horse. You said he eats like a horse." So that's what they are, very simple-hearted, and that's how they correct people, correct. What you should talk to children, what you should tell them about is very important, because if you tell them something, don't do it. So they will do it in such a manner that it will be ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. And they are so obedient to begin with, they think that we are children, we should obey. And this obedience comes out of their simple nature. But we should not try to tell them too many things. And we should not to control them with, don't do this, don't do that. All the time if you do it like that, the children won't understand. You don't have to tell them. But if they are chaste children, if they are brought up in a chaste society, that's why I always say, Baba, send your children to our school. Because children have to be chaste. They must understand the value of chastity. And these modern societies in the Western area especially are very destroying our children's innocence. We should have to learn so much for the children. How innocent they are, how simple they are. They are very generous, and children will give away everything that they have, everything. They don't understand possession of things. Just imagine. If somebody likes something, all right, have it. And they'll keep something for a person who likes something. They are wonderful people. And we have to learn a lot from children. And their smiling faces and their joy should teach us how to behave. Because Ganesha shines through them very clearly. All the intelligence, all the beautiful things they say, I would say you should all write it down, what your children talk, say, because it would be such a book of interesting episodes. Instead of writing about wars and horrible things that they have done in this world, better write what good things there are which children can tell you. Children don't believe in all these kind of a mass nonsense of a fashion. They don't. See, they're properly dressed always. They're not bothered about behaving in the mass way. So that means they're very independent on their own. They are not slaves of any society. And they do not want to follow anything that is just generally followed. No. They follow their own pattern and live in a very dignified manner. They're extremely dignified. And their sense of chastity is very well developed. They would not wear something that will expose their body or will show that there's something wrong with them. Sometimes we neglect our children very much. Because of money problems, maybe I don't know what husband-wife problems there are. And the children are neglected. And once they are neglected, anything can happen to them, and I think it's a very great sin on the part of people to produce children and to neglect them. Children should be given the primary place in the household, in the family. And they should be looked after by everyone. They are the most important thing. Not somebody, he's the head of the family, he can shout at the children, and nothing of the kind. Moreover, I've seen that the way we take to all odd things and bad habits, children never take. They know that it is bad, it should not be done. By their innocence, they know it should not be done. They may sometimes, play with fire, do something like that. But once they are bitten by it, they'll never touch it. They are extremely fast in learning because that is the age they are growing. But actually what is needed now is that the elders must grow. The children are growing, they learn. What about the elders? They have to learn also how to be nice and kind to everyone and to be compassionate with all the rest of them. This idea of criticism comes from where I don't know. But like they'll go anywhere, they'll start criticizing. Children never criticize. They never see these things, never. They'll just get into that house or any place and just enjoy it and see the good points of that house. Always I've seen they'll come and tell, see, they had one very nice Sri Ganesha's this thing. The house may be dirty, there might be smell, anything, doesn't matter. See, so their eyes are towards nice things and good things. They don't sort of take to all these things. Then also, because of modern life, children have developed a kind of funny characters when they grow up. I don't like this, I don't like that. And they fall into funny, I should say, ideas about life, which we must try to guard. Because these days, the society is growing so fast. There are televisions, there are so many, I should say, propagating things which are not good for children. And they should not see them also. And if the children are realized souls, they don't like to see. They don't like to see violence. They don't like to see nonsense. I've seen it. They don't like. But the parents are sitting and enjoying nonsense. So they are also sitting gradually, it might crawl into their heads. But normally children don't like any violence, any beating, any kind of thing. So we have to learn a lot from them because they are innocent, because they have the quality of innocence. So they are to be respected. I don't like people beating their children or hitting them and fulfilling their ambitions through the children. It's very, very wrong. Should leave them alone. They are perfect. Only thing is they should be given proper ideas at a time, appreciation for their chastity, for their well-behavior. That should be done. But should not be given a kind of a idea of the society in which they live, where the children get spoiled. And I was surprised. I met one child the other day, and the child said, I want to have a car. Which car? Mercedes. I said, why don't you go for Ferrari? So, you see, this money orientation also comes from childhood. From childhood, if you talk of all these things, money orientation, children also know this, and they talk like that. There are many other things for children we should just avoid. Don't allow them to go near all such things which are creating money orientation. Because that is the problem of today, that everywhere you find people who have made money illegally. So much money has been made. And there is no need to do that. But still, you see, they go, this money orientation is a funny thing. It's a greed, it's madness, I tell you, real madness. A person wants to have, say, 25 cars. Is he going to sit in the 25 car? He wants to have 25 aeroplanes. What is he going to do with that? For that, he is cheating everyone, troubling everyone, taking the money of others. It's better to be poor than to be like that. So this is what is happening today, is that people have gone, the track is wrong. It's the right side track. I should say, we start our Sahaja Yoga from Sri Ganesha, who is on the left side, not on the right side. First you develop your left side, then you come to right, you are all right. That's why we have our Sahaja Yoga completely built in on Sri Ganesh. Once he is there, you are completely all right and no problem. There is no lack of wisdom. Once you are with Sri Ganesh, you see the point absolutely clearly, how to behave, how to live. And you don't take to stupid things like lust, greed and nonsense. But people are mad, they take to any kind of thing when they grow up. But as children, if they have an influence, very beautiful influence of proper family life, proper school life, proper guidance, proper love and help in every way in their growth, then children become extremely, extremely good, beautiful. And I bless all the Sahaja Yogis to have children of that nature and to look after your children. That's very important because they are tomorrow's Sahaja Yogis and they should be a better quality because you are coming from another lot. They are coming from the innocence. So they are very pure and their purity must be respected and must be guarded. Maybe that will understand the importance of children and develop Ganesha qualities in them. Thank you very much.